Wait, is it streaming? Is this streaming? Alright, I know my hair's crazy. Okay, if you're watching the stream later, nobody's joined yet. I know it's crazy. Okay, I know it's wild. It's unruly. It's quite frankly just strange. You know, I totally get that. I totally understand. But let's talk, tell you guys about some fun stuff. Tell you guys about my thoughts on just football. Football talking heads and football fans in general. I'm going to tell you some stories about Locke. Maybe show off some of the cool stuff that I have. Let's try to share the stream. I'm going to try to do this like, once a week, I guess. And then see how it goes from there. It was super fun last week with Gabe at the Gamer Athletics Coliseum at his place. That was a lot of fun. A lot more interesting things to show there than here, but still whatever. Whatever. I'll share the stream. Share it. I'm wondering if I should do like live streams on Instagram too. I don't know. What's up, everybody? Say what's up. Say what's up. Say what's up. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. Live on YouTube. There we go. All right, I'll start talking about Locke, I guess. So the third installment of the Locke series comes out this week. Perfect time for Halloween. We're gonna talk about some ghost stories. We're gonna talk about some of the urban legends and myths surrounding Locke, which are super fun. Some really, really wild stories. Ghost Adventures is filmed there. I don't know if you guys have seen that. They did a video in Locke, and they talked to some of the same people we talked to. I didn't really do it on camera though, but I got the inside scoop on the controversy and the history of Locke. It's really wild stuff, actually. Like, there's all these like city council meetings and stuff where they're like they're going back and forth on like what the history of Locke is. I'm not going to say too much about the person, but there's a person who attempted to purchase some properties in Locke, and they weren't allowed to because they weren't of Chinese descent. So there's actually a rule: you have to be Chinese descent to buy property in Locke, apparently. And they tried to take it to court because they were saying basically it wasn't just Chinese people that lived in Locke. As I mentioned in my video, there was an eclectic group of people that lived in Locke and built Locke, but not all that history was recorded, basically. And then what it seems like happened is some developers with ties to China, they kind of took over the town and started to emphasize the Chinese history, which is real. It's not like it's fake. It's not made up. But they definitely kind of embellish it to make it seem like that's the only history there. And so some of these property owners are like going back and forth. And I was thinking about it might be fun to do like sort of an interview video with some of them just to like get some of the controversy documented. There is some of the controversy in the Ghost Adventures episode, but I have some qualms about Ghost Adventures and the way they handled things. That'll be a live stream for another time. What up? That'll be a live stream for another time. But the Ghost Adventures, there's a lot of there's a lot of controversy there. There's a lot of things that I don't know if they're really on the up and up. You know what I mean? Um, it you know, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Ghost Adventures, to be honest. Um, oh man, why did man OBS? Does anyone know OBS? I might need like. Oh, there we go. I closed the chat and then it disappeared. But anyways, Ghost Adventures. Who watches Ghost Adventures? I want to know. Do people really? I know people really like it. I just feel like I don't want to get into Ghost Adventures this time. I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about Ghost Adventures. But yeah, this coming week, third episode in the Locke series. Lots of ghost stories, lots of urban legends and tales. We'll walk around Locke at night and find some of that, and it's fun. Give me just a second. I didn't get anything to drink. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. Anyone else have success trying to cut out sugar? Because I am addicted to sugar. So I got like a lot of bubblies, things like that. Sorry if that was loud. I put that right by the mic. That was dumb. So anyways, in Locke, a bunch of the people that own stuff there, a bunch of the people running some of the businesses there, they got issues. They've been there's some city council meetings you can find online where they're just like going at it. Like some of these people truly seem to despise each other, and they go at it, which is from an outsider pretty entertaining. And from an outsider that got to go there and explore the place, it's pretty eye-opening, I would say. But if you guys, anyone in California, Northern California, near San Francisco, Sacramento, anything like that, if you want a very unique historical experience, I highly recommend Locke. I mean, you could just stop by for a couple hours. It doesn't need to be a whole like 3-day thing like I did. I was there for 3 days with my cousin Steve-O, the pick van. We were there for like 3 days. You don't need to do all that. You can just stop by. Literally, if you're driving to Sacramento or between Sacramento and San Francisco, you can stop by for a few hours, just get something to eat, check out the museums. It's really quick. You don't have to deep dive the way I did at all. But, you know, it's fun. We'll talk about some of the ghost stories we'll talk about just to give you an idea. There was a lot of brothels in Locke. It was a very seedy, very shady, kind of hidden town out on the Delta. And there was a lot of brothels, opium dens, gambling dens. And the rumors are that a lot of prostitutes were murdered and dumped in the Sacramento River, which is right there. So there's some stories about some of the real, the real prostitutes that were there. And then there's some stories about some that I can't really verify if they really existed or not. But we'll talk about it. And we'll talk about the ghost stories. You should make an episode on the Winchester House. You know what? First of all, hi Delia. I've tried to. They don't really allow filming. I knew some people that just got me in there. I actually did a TikTok walking around by myself in the Winchester Mystery House a few weeks ago. That was like a dream come true, walking around the Winchester Mystery House, like wherever I wanted to go. That was crazy, but I couldn't do a full episode. I didn't want to get the people in trouble that had let me in, because it was cool. It was allowed that I was there. It wasn't like I was doing something wrong, but I don't know if it would have been allowed for me to do a full episode. So I just did a quick TikTok, but that's something I definitely want to do. Winchester's awesome. And hi Delia, I hope everything's well with you. Locke vid was dope. Thanks, man. The third one is coming out this week, and it's the funnest one. We walk around Locke at night and talk about some of the ghost stories and the urban legends. So it should be a fun one. You know what? let me just get into the upcoming plans in YouTube. That's my little to-do list. I thought I would spice this up a little bit. So, the Locke Bed and Breakfast episode was one of the funnest episodes I've ever filmed. It's just goofy, fun, silly, a real historical place. I love it so much. But it's just not one of the things that's trendy, you know, like it's not, people aren't searching for it on YouTube. And those are the concessions I make to make content that I could be proud of, that I love, that I want to kind of shine a light on some of these places, you know, because not a lot of people know about the Locke Bed and Breakfast. Not a lot of people know about Locke in general. But, you know, I want to try to make content that I think is valuable and can live forever. That's what I've always said. I want to make videos that live forever, where anytime you watch them, it doesn't matter. You could watch those videos in 30 years and they could still be entertaining or teach you something or show you something you've never seen before. But of course, those things are not trendy. Mondo, what's up, man? And that's one of the hard parts, you know. I've had people, you know, close to me and people I'm cool with and stuff, and they'll find things and send it to me like, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Like, you know, Mr. Beast is always on like podcasts and interviews and in his videos and stuff, talking about his rules for like going viral. And his rules are not wrong at all. Like, the things he talks about, they are, you know, they do work. Like, it's not bad advice. But the thing is, it doesn't really apply to what I do and what I'm trying to do. It's great if you just want to grab attention, you just want to make money, you just want to grow, you just want to build. And maybe that's something I should have did early on, to not kind of just be stuck wallowing away where I'm at. Maybe I should have just did that, kind of paid my dues early to just build an audience, and then, you know, then I could go back and kind of do my passion projects. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm very stubborn, and I do the things that I love and the things that speak to me, and I try to do something positive with my time. And so, you know, Mr. Beast is like, you know, do these things, do these rules. And it's like, it would affect my content. It would affect the integrity of my content. It would affect the way I'm trying to present my content and the way I want my content to exist, you know, well after I'm gone, if anyone ever cares about it. In the future, you know, that very unlikely with the amount of content and the amount of things for people to watch, very unlikely that after I'm gone, people will watch my videos. But just in case, I want my videos to be something I could be proud of in this life or the next. Man, it's been a good weekend. Honestly, Dan, I love the fact that your channel can be dumb fun and good emotion. It could be a full educational and valuable experience. It's something I love. Thank you, dude. Like, that means a lot, man. I appreciate that. Oh man, why did this do this? Oh, there. Appreciate that. I didn't log in on here, so it won't let me like. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's what I'm trying to do, is like, I know my content is not like viral ready. I know it's not like the type of content that's just gonna like go crazy viral, other than like, you know, Arco Arena. Like, I knew that was gonna probably do well. I expected that, you know. I expected that, but still, that still took a long time. So that's one of the things that's what I was gonna say. Like, Mr. Beast will talk about, like, or other people, not just Mr. Beast, but other creators will talk about, like, oh, you know, at some point it's just your fault, which it makes sense, because like I said, there's certain concessions I make that I know is my fault and it holds me back, but it's because I have to be proud of what I make. So I can't make sacrifices on my integrity just to try to get attention or just to try to grow. I'll never do that. But there are, you know, smarter decisions I can make. But either way, they'll talk about, like, you know, at some point your views kind of tell the true story, but I just don't think it does. Like, I think that, like, with the Locke Bed and Breakfast, obviously, if people see that, the majority of people that will see the thumbnail, I'm going to redo the thumbnail, actually. I could have did a better job, but they see the thumbnail and the title, they're like, a bed and breakfast? Like, Why am I gonna watch that? And they don't realize how fun it actually is. Like, we're running around like Scooby-Doo, where, you know, there's ghosts, there's clones, there's all kinds of fun stuff in that episode that a lot of people will miss. And a lot of that fun stuff's towards the end. So if they don't get through the beginning, right? So what Mr. Beast or someone would say is like, oh, cut out all that and just do the like fun stuff, and then do like a shocked face in the thumbnail, like. And I'm just, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to maintain my integrity, and I understand that that holds me back in some ways, but it is what it is. But with that said, like, on this channel, I do have a lot of cool plans that I think for the channel, I think could help it grow a lot. They're a little more mainstream, I guess, but it won't sacrifice who I am. It won't sacrifice my integrity. You know, I'm aware of that, those things, so I won't do it. But I got some fun stuff planned, really fun stuff. Your view's not a product of your effort, just people don't know how to appreciate such things. I mean, yeah, I know, and the thing is, watching my content is like, you know, you kind of got to watch a lot to get it. You got to watch a lot to know that half the things I say are like tongue-in-cheek or screwing around, just like being silly. You know, if people don't know, they come in, people turn this on if they never watch me, like, who's this weirdo with the purple hair? Like, what is he doing? Right? You gotta, I know I'm not like a person that just grabs attention right away. I don't have a lot of charisma like that. Like I said, I've told this story a lot of times, but I never even wanted to be the host of this show. I wanted to produce it and have a more charismatic host. But, you know, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better at speaking. And that's one of the reasons I want to do these live streams, so I can just connect more and get more personal, because a lot of people say I'm not personal enough on my channel as well. So maybe if I kind of give a window in to me, maybe people will appreciate that, which is hard for me to say because I don't really like attention that much, despite me having a YouTube channel. And I don't like sympathy or anything, so I don't want to get like too emotional about certain things, but, you know, it is what it is. I like your thumbnails, and they're iconic and calm and not so chaotic. And yeah, man, that's what I'm trying to do, you know. I'm trying to, like, you know, do something that's more valuable. I'm not trying to just be a YouTuber like, hey guys, blah, 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 blah. Like, to me, there's no depth to that. And I know it grabs attention, but with the way the world is, and with TikTok, and like, you know, it's like instant gratification, and just everything's moving so fast. Like, I think they say on TikTok, you know, the average view duration is like 2 seconds or something. Like, people are just constantly scrolling, and it's just like our brains can't keep up. And I think there's got to be enough people out there that appreciate something a little more genuine, something a little more just with a little more depth. I'm not saying I'm like super deep person. Obviously my videos are silly, but like, I feel like there's a lot of heart and a lot of integrity behind what I do, even in the dumbest moments. I'm trying to do something positive and bring something positive to, you know, a relatively small audience, which I super appreciate. You guys are awesome, man. Like, the people who've joined the Patreon, there's been months, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, there's been months where I wouldn't have paid my electric bill if it wasn't for my Patreon. And, you know, there's only like 7 or 8 people on there. It's not a lot. And, you know, it means the world to me. And it means the world to me when people have come up to me in real life, in person, at games and stuff, and told me they appreciate what I do. That's what I do it for, you know, not just money and fame. All the money and fame would be great, because then I could just do more, and that's really what I want. Attention. Sometimes my career is all about attention. I know, man. You're on the microphone all the time. Always upbeat personalities that content creators follow really actually annoys me. It just feels so fake. Agreed, man. I'm not just gonna be like, because I want genuine feelings, connections, genuine content. I want it to be sincere, and I want people to appreciate me for that. And I'm not going to sacrifice my integrity or myself to, you know, just get attention beyond that. Like, this uber energetic personality trait, all content create. Yeah, man, it works. I don't want to do it. And speaking of like the Patreon and stuff, on Patreon I got a bunch of like behind the scenes videos, and also the membership right here on YouTube. If you join the membership, there's already a handful of extra videos, bonus videos. There's like an hour-long video from Arco Arena with some of the stuff I cut out of the Arco Arena video, for example. And then we also got I'm dropping another members-only video here and Patreon later on this week, showing us filming the Unite the Bay hype video. Me and Gamer Athletics, Gabe. So, consider joining the membership if you want. Obviously, you don't have to. I'm not pressuring anyone, but I try to make it worthwhile. There's not a lot on YouTube yet for the memberships, but there's a good amount of stuff on Patreon. There's like 25, 30 extra videos over there. And speaking of like Gamer Athletics, man, he's the best. Gabe's the best. Look what he got me. He gave me this the other day. The live stream last week where I went to his house. He gave me a classic A's bobblehead. Look how cool that is. Yeah, I love this guy. And I got a decent amount of Oakland stuff. Like I said, I love Oakland. I'm a Giants fan, but I love Oakland. And I'm going to do a members only video showing like my season ticket gifts that I've gotten from the 49ers. Just a quick little look. I'll do a video maybe later this week. But I'll try to make it worthwhile. So if anyone wants to join the membership, I'm going to make it worthwhile. I'm going to do some giveaways on these live streams as well coming up. I'd like to just give away random cool stuff. I got a stack of the Unite the Bay cards. I might just take these with me and hand them out like at games. So if anyone sees me and wants one, I don't know, something like that. What videos did you enjoy filming the most? Good question. Let me look at my roster. I always say off the top of my head, Bodie, the ghost town, Wild West ghost town, was like somewhere I'd wanted to go my whole life. So to finally be there was it was the best. The NFC Championship game 2019, or it was in 2020, January 2020, right before the world ended, where we won to go to the Super Bowl. That was at the end I was tearing up. I had to like stop recording a few times because I was like about to cry like a little baby. Man, Alamo Dome in San Antonio was so cool. Like, man, it was something else. Editing wise, the Ant-Man filming locations and shrinking myself in my car was super fun. Arco Arena, of course, like going to an abandoned arena was just like, man, I never thought it would happen, and it happened. Are you going to be at the Niners versus Bengals game? Still up in the air, possibly, but I might sell the tickets. Financially, things have not been going well. I put all my money into my channel, man. I just got like a $6,000 server so that my cousin Steve can help me edit from afar. So he lives in Carson City, so like I got a server with all my stuff so that he can help edit and stuff. So I spend a lot of money on my channel. I live on my own. I take care of myself in the Bay Area, which is not easy. So, NFC Championship game still makes me cry. Yeah, man. Unite the Bay was awesome. Thank you. I mean, I had so much fun with that hype video. I'm going to talk about it more. I'm going to be on a podcast type thing or an Instagram interview like next week. And I'll talk about that more. And also the game itself was super fun too. I got to meet a lot of people, which was awesome. Seeing your emotion made me cry. Yeah, man. Bro, I can't even watch that video back, bro. I start crying. I'm such like a sports nerd with that stuff. Like, bro, if I watch highlights from like the 2014 World Series run, like I'll literally be on my couch like, yes, as if it's happening live. Was shrinking yourself a tough thing to edit, or was it not? It was tough actually. It's easy. The technique itself is not the hardest thing to do, but the fact that I had nowhere to like film it, that was really like clear or like easy, because I filmed it in San Francisco, and like just little things you wouldn't think about, like power lines and stuff. Like it's hard to cut things out with power lines or like shadows, all kinds of noises, just a lot of people around. And if I had like a green screen or had like a studio, it would be pretty simple. It's not difficult, but I wanted, I needed like the shadows to match and stuff, so I wanted to film in the same place, actually in a location like that. So it was a little tougher, but it was pretty fun. Ishikawa's walk off still gets me. Yeah, man. Pence's wall catch. Yeah. I got some more history stuff coming. I got some more stuff I filmed in Texas coming. I got a lot of stuff. Our first international episode will come out maybe next week, maybe the week after. I'm trying to, there's another very special 49ers and Giants related video that I'm working on right now. I'm going through the archives though, so it's taking forever to edit. But I promise you, if you enjoy Bay Area sports the way I do, you will love it. I'm really excited about it. I actually already did like the thumbnail, and I love the thumbnail. I'm like so excited. But that'll be fun. And it's some more local history, and then some history from Texas that I did. I got another. I got my list up here. I got some more abandoned sports stuff coming up. I got some more abandoned stuff in general coming up. I got some more historic places. I got some more sports stuff. I got some, the Texas stuff. I got some Gold Country stuff that I've already filmed that's coming out. I got another ghost town that I filmed about coming out. Also, man, it was so cool to go to Great America. Like, I didn't even tell this story yet. Great America reached out to me about the video I did last year, and they liked it, and they invited me back. And man, they just hooked it up. Like, all the food and drinks I could want. Like, I had a VIP escort the whole night. I brought my cousin Steve and the boy himself, Jet. It was really hard to film at first because there was like all these Great America people. There was like 3 higher ups from Great America like standing there when I first got there, and they just started handing me stuff, like drinks and stuff to try, and I'm just like, oh. And then like I'm standing there, and there's a group of like these Great America people, like dressed like, office, like, I don't know if they had suits on. I think 1 or 2 guys had suits on, but they were like important Great America people, and they're just standing there watching me, and I'm just like, should I be entertaining? It was really, really awkward. But throughout the night I got a little looser, and then I had 2 guys that were kind of like my VIP escorts for the night. They took us on any rides we wanted, no waiting, no line. I felt kind of bad, to be honest, like cutting the line, but luckily the lines were pretty short. It was a really it was a really slow night, so I didn't feel that bad, but I still felt bad. Like, I don't feel like I deserve to walk ahead of people or cut in line, but they would just like walk us up the exit and just get us on. And we only went on a few rides just to like kill time and let the sun go down. And then like anywhere we'd go, they would just come up and bring us free drinks. They were just like giving us free drinks and snacks, and everything you saw me try was like, they were just like, here, try it. Like, they hooked it up. And unfortunately, I guess they're having some minor issues with like their social media team being kind of overwhelmed. So I gave them a ton of videos to post, and they've only posted like 1. So that's kind of a bummer, but I'm still so appreciative. And there's a Winterfest thing, so I'm gonna ask them if I can go back and do that. But I love Great America, grew up going there, so them treating me like I'm somebody was pretty cool. But again, the imposter syndrome, man. The imposter syndrome of like when they would walk me up to like the little bar thing, and there'd be like a bartender, and they were like, hey, make them this drink or whatever. And then I just felt in my heart, this is how I always feel, I just felt like the bartender or the server or whatever is like, who's this idiot? You know, who's it? Who does he think he is? You know, that's just how I feel. I get imposter syndrome like really bad, and but it was super cool to be able to do that, and I'm very, very thankful for that opportunity. Another, just a quick question, if you guys want to say in the chat, like what or do you think maybe if I do these weekly live streams, I should have like guests, maybe someone I could just go back and forth with. I'll try to get better at just speaking on my own, but it does feel kind of weird just sitting here in my apartment alone, just talking to a screen with my face on it. But yeah, if there's, I could get guests, and I don't know, they could just zoom in, or even if they come here, I don't care. And what else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, I want to talk about Brock Purdy, and I want to talk about the 49ers. And I want to talk about some of those teams that lost today that keep talking about us. Oh, I didn't see that. Buster Posey and Brian Wilson hugging is forever ingrained in my brain. Man, one of the greatest moments, bro. One of the greatest moments. So let's talk a little bit of 49ers. All right. First of all, I know I have a lot of 49er fans that subscribe to the channel. I am disappointed, though, that every time I do a 49ers video, it gets less and less views. I think it's exact. Like, if you go down the list of my 49ers videos, every single one gets less views. Which sucks, because, like, the last one was super fun. The Cowboys game was fun. The tailgate talks was fun, just, like, for the hype. But I don't know what it is. I'm doing something wrong, but I can't figure it out. If anyone has any ideas, let me know. Do good, bro, but guesswork as well. I guess you mean guess? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a guest. Maybe I'll get I don't know, Gabe, Gamer Athletics or something. So I just find it funny how. All right, put it like this. You have to remember that people that watch sports, they talk like they know it all, right? Because we all want to feel like we know it all. We all want to feel like we know what's going on. That, like if you're ever in a sports conversation, you don't want to be the odd man out who's like, I don't know, right? I don't have that problem because I'm super busy. I don't watch sports like I did growing up. I don't have the time. When I was growing up, I knew every player. I knew every lineman on the worst teams in the league. I knew bench players on the Cleveland Indians or the Minnesota Twins. Like I knew everything. I could name I could name 12 people on every NBA team when I was a kid. Now I can't. Like there's a lot of people, there's good players who I'm like, man, I don't really know anything about that guy. And the thing is, you have to remember, most people can't watch every game, right? So most people watch whatever their team is, their local broadcast, obviously. Unless you have like any of the packages where you can watch everything. But again, with like football, there's a bunch of games going on at the same time. So people are not watching every single game, right? So people base their sports knowledge on highlights, clips, and then narratives. And that's a very dangerous thing, right? Because people will set a narrative. Sometimes it's true. Very often the narratives start as true. But for example, a new quarterback could come in, let's say a rookie quarterback, and throw 3 interceptions for 6 games straight, right? Now the narrative is, well, they're an interception machine. They're doing nothing but throwing interceptions. Then they could go 3 years throwing 5 interceptions a year, right? And people are still going to have that narrative of like, well, they're an interception machine. You see it with like a lot of players with like fumbles. A lot of players will have like a bad season where they fumble a bunch or they fumble in a big moment, and then suddenly they're the fumble king, right? So you have to remember that's how people watch these games. So when they say a narrative, they're not necessarily basing it on their knowledge. They're basing it on what they hear on social media and the clips that they see. Hold on, let me see the chat. Let's go, Brock. Still plenty of doubters. Bang, bang. Exactly. Get 100 pence on a future live stream. Man, I wish. Oh, speaking of, I was supposed to collaborate with his wife when she had started her YouTube channel. I had talked to her, And I said, hey, I have a YouTube channel too. I would love to like meet up with you at a game and like collaborate or whatever. And she was like down. And then it just didn't happen. I think I just ended up not going to as many games as I had wanted or whatever. And then Hunter Pence was playing with the River Cats, and I went and did a River Cats game. And I happened to go to one game that Hunter Pence didn't play, and she wasn't there, even though she did like vlogs at like every Rivers Cats game, like around my video, which sucked. But they're super cool, man. I love Alexis Pence and Hunter Pence. True, I watch what I can. I'm too busy unless something happens, then I go back and watch it. Yep. Just like Kershaw in the postseason. Yeah. I have a ball from Hunter. He threw it to me in between innings. One of my favorite players. That's sick, dude. Hunter's the best, man. Like, how lucky were we as Giants fans to have Hunter Pence and to get him for, I don't even remember who did we trade? Was it Nate Shearholtz? I don't remember. It's been so long. Been over 10 years now. But yeah, like Kershaw in the postseason. I'm not going to give him a pass, though, you know. My favorite player is postseason Kershaw. But there's other examples that I would more willingly use. But anyways, so, you know, we can't watch all the games. So we're basing what we know on narratives. You know, if you hear about, let's say, Tyreek Hill tonight. They're playing right now, right? Like Tyreek Hill, incredible player. So a lot of people will know, oh, he's an incredible player. He's fast, like Dolphins high-powered offense. And they'll base what they know based on this, like, one game. So my point is, there's certain narratives that people like to set to sound smart. One of the most annoying things that everyone always goes to when they're talking about Hall of Fame is, I don't know about Hall of Fame, might be the Hall of Very Good. Like, that's the dumbest, most basic, stupid phrase ever, and it makes people sound like they know what they're talking about and they're smart, but it's just dumb. Every time I hear that, I just know, like, oh, this is a person that just hears buzzwords and narratives and just runs with it, right? Like, you don't have an original thought. So going back to like Brock, like, you know, the narrative is system quarterback, and then like he makes mistakes and it's like, oh, see, and the same thing happened with Jimmy Garoppolo. It was like Jimmy throws a pick and suddenly it's like, oh, Jimmy misses a wide open receiver. Oh, I told you Jimmy sucks, and it's like, that's one play, and to further cement this. There's always highlights on YouTube. Yeah, but you can't know how good a player is based on just highlights. That's my point. Eagles winning currently. Yeah, they were smacking the Dolphins when I started this. I think the Dolphins had just scored though. I think Tyreek got a nice little snag. But anyways, I think, are the Rangers still up, by the way? I don't have the game on. Rangers were up, about to getting close to sending it to Game 7, which has been a great series so far, Rangers and Astros. But anyways, this is the thing. When people will judge quarterbacks, especially, they'll judge them based on old players, right? So as 49er fans, it's always Montana, right? Everyone, and that's one of the good things they say about Brock. Like, oh, he reminds me of Joe Montana, cool under pressure. And that's great, but like, people will base like, oh, this quarterback's not perfect like Joe Montana, then he's just not good enough. And that just shows that they just know Joe Montana based on highlights, you know, amazing NFL films, edits where it's like this super dramatic music and it makes you want to cry, and I love those videos so much. But like, people base their football knowledge or their sports knowledge on stuff like that and not the real game. And so people don't know, like, Joe Montana, okay, that 1981 NFC Championship game with the catch, right? He threw one of the ugliest interceptions ever earlier in that game. Just like a horrendous throw and interception. Just ugly, right? I think it was the play before, or maybe 2 plays before the catch. One of the most iconic plays in the history of the game. He missed a wide open, I think it was Freddie Solomon. He missed him wide open. There's barely any pressure. He just totally overthrew him, and he was wide open for one of the easiest touchdowns that you could ever get in a championship game, right? But people remember the catch. They remember that amazing play, and they don't discredit everything else Joe Montana does because of those plays that nobody remembers, where he overthrew receivers, just like Jimmy, just like Brock. It's just super annoying. As so, that's one of the reasons if you catch me, like you might try to catch me and like talk about football or talk about sports. I'm very just like, I don't know. I'm just a guy, right? I'll talk about what I like. I'll talk about what made me happy. But I decided a few years ago, and I've said this in live streams and videos before, I decided a few years ago, I'm no longer calling players trash. I'm no longer like just discrediting players. Like, they still made the league. They're not trash. Well, whoever you think is the worst player in the NFL is still good enough to make the NFL. So it's just weird to be sitting in the stands and talking about a player sucks. Like, they don't suck. They might not be good enough to like get their team over the hump or to beat out someone who's a little bit better or has a better team around them. And that's the other thing that irritates me is like it's a team game and people will ride these narratives about single players like, can't get over the hump. Like, you can't blame Dan Marino only that the Dolphins never made it over the hump in his era. Like, you can't. And the fact that like Frank Gore, people want to argue that he's not a Hall of Famer, and it's like he was putting up numbers like very productive on some of the worst teams the NFL has ever seen with a different offensive coordinator every year. And now because people make this argument like, oh, he was never the best running back in the league, and it's like, when was that a criteria for the Hall of Fame? Like, it's just people in their narratives. So it's one of the reasons I don't really like sports talk that much. I like having fun. I like, remembering the good moments. I like stuff like that. But as far as like analyzing the game, it just feels dumb because most people do not actually know the game, myself included, right? Like, I think my knowledge is definitely above average, but I'm not a coordinator. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think people should have more humility when they discuss sports, and to downplay someone like Frank Gore and like, I don't know about Hall of Fame, might be the Hall of Very Good. Hit the bricks. I don't want to hear it. Let's see what you guys were saying. Still cash on Jimmy, throw a pick though. I mean, every quarterback throws picks, so that's not like a really good barometer. You know what I mean? Like, every quarterback throws picks. Tom Brady and Peyton Manning have had multiple pick games. Like, it's just, that's part of the game. It's just when you set this narrative in your head of like, oh, this player is trash, then you see everything they do in that light of their trash. But then if you think, oh, they're really good, they're one of the best, they're elite, they're a Hall of Famer, then you make excuses for their mistakes, right? I think everyone does that naturally, and that's one of the reasons I don't want to discuss like the merits of the players that much. That's how I feel. The Brock narrative, exactly what happened to Jimmy. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Okay, the Rangers still up. I don't want what happened to Jimmy to happen to Brock. Yeah, and I think Niner fans are just way too critical about the quarterback. I think Niner fans need to relax. Like, we did the same thing to Trey. We did the same thing to everybody that comes in because we have such a high bar because of Montana and Young. So we just expect every player to just be an instant Hall of Famer. And that's just not how it works, Like, even Tom Brady's first few years, like, he wasn't the greatest quarterback. They just had an incredible defense. You have to win a Super Bowl to end the narrative. Yeah, you're right. The Super Bowl helps, but most teams lose every year. Only one team can win it every year, so you can't say every other player that doesn't win it is trash. And that's kind of my point. Seager just got hit by a pitch. Are they going to clear the benches again? Just got back from the Steelers game. How was that? I didn't even see what was the score. And who'd they even play? Who'd the Steelers play today? I did not see that score. And was it at Heinz Field or whatever they call it now? I forgot the new name. Brock looks good. I feel more confident going in games with him than other QBs who have. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not saying that every quarterback is incredible, but I'm just saying you can't discredit them because you only watched highlights and you hear a narrative. It's just not always accurate, especially with internet discussions. It's just Brady won the 2020 NFC Championship with 4 picks versus Rodgers 3 TDs. Yeah, exactly. Man, like, and nobody discredits Brady because of that, right? But if Brady had the same narrative as someone like Jimmy, they would discredit it. The only narrative about Jimmy that I think is super accurate is he was injured too much, but that's not his fault. I don't believe in injury prone. I just think that some people are unluckier than others. It's like with Brandon Belt. People always say, "Oh, Brandon Belt's injury prone," but like he would get hit by a pitch in his hand and stuff like that. Like, what? How was that injury prone? He just had, certain things didn't go his way, and that's gonna happen in a physical sport. Grand Slam Rangers. Oh man, I gotta go watch the highlights. Dang. All right, it's about to be Game 7. What is it, 8th inning or something? It's late, right? 8 or 9? Because I want to say it was 6th inning when I started this. Steelers play the Rams in L.A. today. Okay, who won? Wait. The Steelers won, right? I thought the Rams lost today. So so far good. About 20 Red Niners there, including mine. Oh yeah, Steelers did win. Okay, I saw that the Rams had lost, and I just kind of like smirked, but I didn't realize they played the Steelers. Oh man, Rangers Astros is quite a series. People are leaving it. They're in Houston today. I was watching it earlier, but I can't remember. Man, the Rangers, I gotta say, the Rangers jerseys are so fire. They're so fire, especially the powder blues. It hurts to see Bochy wearing them. 9-2 Rangers. All right. Game 7. But yeah, that was my little rant about like sports stuff. Like, in my videos, I'll definitely talk. I'll talk trash and stuff. But like, all those players are incredible, man. Like, to make it to the NFL, you got to be incredible. Now, there's definitely situations where they deserve it. Johnny Manziel, Jamarcus Russell come to mind, like where they had, they were handed the world and then they just kind of blew it on their own. They didn't study. They didn't even try. That makes sense. What Jerry Jeudy's doing right now in Denver, just like talking so much and just not producing like that. I think those are worth criticisms. But as far as like people's play, I guess I just have more empathy for them. And if someone like Brock Purdy throws an interception, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, see, he's terrible. He's terrible." Nah, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. And that's all I wanted to say about that. And, I got this purple hair. I'm going to cut my hair soon. But if the 49ers make the Super Bowl, I'm going to do something fun with my hair for that. So hopefully we can get it back together. I think we probably needed that Cleveland loss. It very reminiscent of 94 season. I forgot what week 4 maybe, when the Eagles just stomped us like 40-8. You kind of have to have those games. Otherwise, you see what happens to like the undefeated Patriots, right? They end up losing at the end. I'd rather lose in week 5 or 6 than lose, the last game. And I feel like the same thing happened with the Warriors when we broke the single season wins record. I think they weren't challenged enough, and then once they were finally challenged, they weren't fully prepared for it. Eagles about to win, boo. Yeah, I feel like the Dolphins kind of overachieve. Like, their offense obviously is incredible, but their defense just doesn't really like match up. And the Eagles on both sides of the ball are way better. They're both really good offenses and defense, or really good offense and defense for the Eagles. But I'm just a guy. I don't watch all their games. I haven't watched every Eagles game this year, right? So I could be wrong. Oh, what else can I show you guys? I've been getting into. Speaking of the Texas Rangers, here, this is a good little story. So I like to collect the souvenir cups from games, right? I got this one from an A's game. I have a whole collection of souvenirs cups that I've gotten from all kinds of stadiums and arenas. I went to Globe Life. You guys may remember I have an episode at the old Ranger Stadium before they built the current one that they're in now. So it was called Globe Life Park at the time. Now they're in Globe Life Field. When I went, they were building Globe Life Field across the street. It was kind of just dirt at the time, though. It was very early. So I went there. It If you remember the episode, it was like 37 degrees. It was super cold, which was hilarious because they replaced that stadium because that stadium's too hot, right? So they like this stadium's too hot in the Texas summers. We have to build an indoor stadium. And then we decided to go, literally me and Cole decided to go to Dallas area and Arlington to see that stadium before they replaced it because the Giants won the 2010 World Series there, as we all know, right? And so I'm like, we got to see that stadium before it's gone. And that's the reason, in 2018, I want to say it was 2018, on this channel, we did a series of Dallas and Fort Worth, Arlington episodes. Really fun episodes. We did like Dealey Plaza where JFK was assassinated. We did an abandoned hospital, and we did a Mavericks game, and we did the Rangers game. And it was 37 degrees, so they didn't even have batting practice. We were super upset because Tim Lincecum was on the Rangers for a short time, and he was on the team, but because there was no batting practice, we didn't get to see him. But also because it was so cold, I forgot to get a souvenir soda. So I didn't get a souvenir cup. So like a year later, I was on the internet trying to find like Rangers fans and try to ask them if I could buy a souvenir cup from them and they could send it to me. And I was hoping to find one that had like Globe Life Park on it, something very specific. Same. I have a collection of cups too. What's your favorite cup? I think mine might be the Farewell Candlestick Cup. 4 pitches, 3 outs. Woo! Game 7. All right. So anyways, I found someone online who said they could give me a souvenir cup from Globe Life Park. Right? So I was really excited. I'm like, all right, cool. I forgot it. This person's going to hook me up. Very thankful. I was like, I'll pay you whatever. I'll pay you whatever you want, and I'll pay for shipping or whatever. They sent me a box, right? It's like a big box. I'm like, what is this? Why is the box so big? Man, he gave me all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't have it all out here. I have in storage, I have a bunch of like sports memorabilia. He gave me like, a big plastic helmet, like the Nacho helmet. He gave me, I think, 2 bobbleheads. He gave me this other special cup. It was like a stein, like a beer stein. The souvenir cup, which unfortunately the souvenir cup didn't say Globe Life Park. It only has the Rangers logo. So that's always a bummer when places do that. But either way, the coolest thing he gave me, which I can't believe, like it shocks me, is this model of Globe Life Park. So cool. Rangers ballpark in Arlington. The only thing that sucks is like the rooms up here aren't all white like they were in real life. But this is super cool. I just can't believe he gave me this, like with the box and everything. How nice, right? Like I felt so bad because I didn't really know the guy. I'm like, anything I can do for you? I was like, you want me to send you? I think I asked him. I was like, I have some old like candlestick stuff, and he's like, nah, it's all good. I was like, man, how nice. But this has kind of started my new obsession. I was trying to bid on a candlestick, one of these, a couple weeks ago. Good thing I didn't win because I was broke. I did not have the money for it, and I got outbid on eBay. But I did get another one for super cheap. Hold on, where'd it go? All right, I got this one. It has some like broken parts. Oh, the camera's acting. It has some broken parts, so I got this for literally like $10. But this is Shibe Park. This is where the A's played in Philadelphia. So it says right here, Philadelphia Athletics. Oh, and the Phillies played there. I didn't realize that. Shibe Park. And there's one broken light. So that's the reason I got it so cheap. But this is like my new obsession, these these ballpark models. And I only have 2 so far. The candlestick one's awesome. They have a candlestick one for football and baseball, so someday I'll try to get both. They have a Qualcomm Stadium one I want to get. But yeah, this is my new obsession right here. Mine is the Sharks one because of the design. Oh, I wonder what the Sharks one looks like. You know what? I don't know if I have a Sharks one. I've been to a Sharks game. Crazy. The first World Series game at the new Rangers field was a 2020 World Series. Dodgers didn't get to celebrate with their fans. They sure didn't. I mean, look, they can have a parade and celebrate with their fans when they play the 100 extra games that they skipped. Play those 100 extra games and then you guys get a parade. But until you play the second 2/3 of the season, I just don't count it. I don't credit it. That's one thing. Oh, yeah, here's a sports hot take. You want a sports hot take? Here we go. People talk about the bubble championship for the Lakers and the no fans, shortened season Dodgers championship, right? Now, let me tell you straight up. Those are two of my least favorite teams. Okay? So I'm incredibly biased against them, but I'm also a realistic person. And I will say things like the Dodgers are one of the most impressive teams, regular season teams of all time the last 10 years. I mean, the farm that they developed, the moves they've made have been incredible, but I think they're overly reliant on things like analytics when they need a manager, more like a Bochy, right? They need a manager that has just more baseball knowledge and isn't so reactionary. And I think Mattingly and I think Dave Roberts are too reactionary to the moment, and they don't let things play out when they should. Anyways, do you talk about the channel name change? No, I can't. I can touch on that in a second. Let me get this sports take out, and we'll talk about it. So those two rings, people like to say, people either discredit them, say they don't count. I won't say that. I won't say they don't count entirely. Or people will say that, oh, it was even harder, or everybody had the opportunity to win. If your team won, you wouldn't be saying that. Absolutely no. If my team won, I'd be feeling the exact same way. Okay, first of all, I think the Lakers championship, bubble championship, and I think the Dodgers championship in 2020, I think they get credit for winning those championships. But it's just not the same. I think they should call it something else, have its own trophy. It could be one of one. You're the only team that ever won this trophy. But it was more like a tournament. So how do you give the same trophy for a full baseball season, World Series championship? How do you give the same trophy for a 60-game season, right? So sure, you guys get credit for winning the tournament, the COVID tournament, but it's not the same. It should be a different trophy. It should be a different ring. It should have a different name. And same with the Lakers. It should be called, you're the bubble champs. It shouldn't count the same. It should count just differently. I'm not saying it's discredited. I'm not saying it's nothing or it's worthless. I'm just saying it's different. Not every team played in the bubble. The bubble circumstances were much different. I just don't think it's just different. It's just too different to give the same trophy. So the 2020 championships should have their own trophies, we should call it by a different name, call it a tournament or something. And it could still mean a lot. You can still put a banner up, you can still do all that, but it's just insulting to think like, oh, it's the same thing. Our 60-game season was the same as your 162-game season. Like, no, nah. Tuning in late, love the channel. Locke series has been awesome. Next Locke video comes out this week. Third in the series. It's going to be great. Been there, but I didn't know all the details. That's cool. I'm glad someone's been there. I think you're the first person to say they've been there. Have you done a video on the Great Western Forum? Great question. If not, would you consider making one? I'm a Lakers fan. Love your content, though. When I first started this channel, one of the first things I went and filmed was the forum. But I couldn't get in, so I didn't have much to say. It was literally my first week filming. So I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know how to craft a video. So I still have footage of me out there in front of the forum talking about it. Terrible. I didn't know how to speak on camera. If you go back, one of our early videos, we did a video at the Compton swap meet. That was the same day. We went to the forum. We did the swap meet. And I hope to do some Lakers stuff. Like I said, I hate the Lakers, but I'm a sports fan. I love to hate the Lakers, you know what I mean? I'm glad the Lakers exist. I'm glad we get that rivalry that, quite frankly, you guys have owned for the majority of my lifetime. It's only been, recent times where the Warriors were any good. But, it's a great rivalry. And also, that I only hate the Lakers since the three-peat, to be honest. I loved Nick Van Exel. I loved Eddie Jones. I like the Lakers. So, yeah, hopefully some Lakers stuff coming up. A lot of podcasts talk about how the NBA bubble was very competitive since it was eat, sleep, breathe basketball, but go Warriors. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the bubble championship is worthless. I'm just saying it's different. I just don't. How do you have the same trophy for something that was totally different? That's all I'm saying. I don't believe you've done a video on Old Sacramento. I think that would be dope. Tons of history in those buildings. Yeah, so that's me and my cousin have formulated our ideas for Old Town Sacramento. We were actually, when we were there we did a video at the Golden One Center for a Kings game. We stayed there for the whole weekend. We were hoping to maybe do some old Sacramento videos, if not at least just one. But it ended up being, I forgot what weekend it was, but it was a super busy weekend, and Old Town Sacramento was just crazy. So, we didn't do it. But I love Old Town Sacramento. There's some things there that tie into other videos we've done in Gold Country, right? There's some stuff on the buildings that was literally built at a foundry that we filmed a few years ago. So yeah, Old Town Sacramento is awesome. The train museum there is one of my favorite museums in the world. And I want to stay on the, the Delta Queen, whatever the paddle wheeler hotel is right there. I want to stay there. I want to do a video on that too. So Old Town Sacramento, for sure. I would love to do that. The two-parter of yours was awesome. Which two-parter? I forgot what we were talking about. About the name change, though. Ian, you had mentioned the name change. So Something or Other Tour started kind of as a joke. My brother Cole, who I started the channel with, that some of you know and love, he hasn't been in a lot of episodes recently, but hopefully, Delta King. I thought it was a Delta Queen. Where's Delta Queen? Anyways, we started the channel, and I've reiterated a lot of this before, so I apologize if you've heard this story, but I didn't want to be in the show. I just wanted to do sort of this hip-hop travel show. That was my idea. I loved Anthony Bourdain and things like that, so I was like, it would be cool to do a show like his, but for a different demographic, because most of the good travel shows, they're always catered to a certain demographic that wasn't me and my friends or people I grew up with. So I was like, let's do that. And I had a struggling record label, so I was like, I was doing music and creative stuff. I did music videos, and Locke, yeah, part 3 of Locke comes out Tuesday. We're gonna talk about ghost stories and urban legends. It's gonna be fun. So I just wanted to branch out from the music stuff, because the music stuff wasn't working out, and I always have to have a creative outlet, so I wanted to start the channel. I was looking for a host for a long time, but I just couldn't find anyone that was interested in the things I was interested in, was able to do it, was free to do it, had time to do it, and obviously I couldn't pay because I was broke, right? So I finally told my brother Cole, I was like, let's just start filming our adventures, because all the things I do on the channel I did anyways. I do it more now, thankfully, because of the channel, but me and Cole would be bored and we would just Google things to go look at, historic places and stuff. So I always tell the story about, we were in LA one night, super bored, and we just started Googling horrific places. We Googled the house that Bugsy Siegel was killed in. So we drove by and parked outside the house, and we're looking at it man, the mobster who helped build Vegas was murdered right there in that building, right? So we did stuff like that anyway. So I was like, let's just start filming it. So me being on camera has been a huge challenge for me and a huge goal, because I didn't want to be on camera. I don't like attention. But anyway, so when we're doing it, me and Cole were trying to come up with a name, and my media company, and you'll see all my channel and everything, it says presented by Vertlife. So that's my media company, Vertlife. So I was like, the Vertlife tour, whatever. I don't know. I was bouncing around names. And if you watch some of the earlier episodes, the videos were much more, I would have my brother hold the camera, here, hold the camera and just follow me, and I'll just walk around and talk. It was a lot less of a narrative, a lot less edited, a lot less like telling the whole story. It was kind of just me walking through places and trying to tell the story as I walked through. Me and my brother, as a joke, would always say something or other. We'd all be like, do a little something or other. Let's do a little something or other. Like, it was just some stupid phrase that we would always say. And it's the same thing as, one of our catchphrases, are we talking? Like, hey, are we talking Niners football? And it was kind of like this weird mix-up of, like, a Midwestern Minnesota accent. It's just like a Midwestern person accent that just was funny and stupid to us. And, if you notice, we really like stupid, like, dad jokes and stuff. And sometimes, to me and Cole, like, the funniest thing in the world is the most obvious, stupid, superficial joke. Where, to the point where I will start to say the joke, and he already knows what the joke's going to be because it's so obvious. And that makes us laugh before the joke's even out. And something or other came from that. But the problem with something or other is, like, I know this is a long rant for just a name change. I apologize. But something or other tour was just funny. And I thought it kind of tells what we're doing. Something or other. We're doing a little something or other. So, yeah, it works. But, what I didn't foresee is how difficult it is to search for. How difficult it is to tell people. Like, whenever people would ask me the channel name, I would have to tell them like 4 times. People would be like, something or nothing, something or what, the this or that. Like, it was always all over the place, and it was just difficult. And so I've wanted to change the name for quite a long time, and I finally just thought of the word variety, and I just like that word, and it kind of tells it's more obvious about what we're doing than something or other is. And also then I was like, how can I gussy that up? Variety tour, varieties. And then I just thought, variety with 2 V's, and the first V kind of stands for Vertlife, which is my media company. So that's my long-winded explanation of why the name changed. I think it's hurting me in the algorithms for sure that I changed the name, but I think in the long run it'll be better. Plus, like, the variety logo, I think it came out cool. I think it'll look cool on shirts. I think in the long run it'll be good. But something or other tour is still near and dear to my heart. I'm still going to call it that. I still have like 18 episodes to put out where I called it something or other tour. So if you want to call it that, I don't care. It's still going to say in all the descriptions too. Your channel is super entertaining, detailed, and well researched. You deserve to blow up. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I'm fighting the good fight, trying to put out quality content the best I can with my stupid face plastered all over it. Ever thought about doing an episode on the old building of Highland Hospital in Oakland? I've heard about that place, but I thought they changed it into something else. Here, let me make a note. I will make a note. I do have some abandoned stuff I was supposed to film this week that I just found out about in the Bay Area, but I don't know if I'm going to have time this weekend. I have a couple days off, but I can't make a note. I'll just go back and read the chat. Yeah, I got some Bay Area abandoned stuff to do. Either this weekend or next weekend. And I have, like I said, I have 18 episodes I've already filmed that I'm just slowly trying to edit and put out. So some abandoned stuff, some sports stuff, bunch of stuff in Texas I filmed, some abandoned sports stuff. Yeah, some really cool stuff coming out. Some Gold Country stuff. Yeah, it should be fun. It's so awesome to hear the backstory of the channel. Love your videos so much. Thanks, Ian. A little too long to say. Yeah, man. Like, whenever I tell people something or other tour, they're like, huh, what, huh? And I remember, so many times, like, people would just hand me their phone, like, you just type it in, because they couldn't get it, right? But if I just say it's called Variety with 2 V's, like, it's way simpler, way easier. It's a really easy word mark to use. There's also, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but I put out a shirt that's an old caricature shirt. Let me find it. Sorry if the typing's loud. I put out an old shirt that's like a caricature. And if my channel, if it ever grows to the point where I sell a decent amount of merch, I don't sell that much now, But if I do get to that point, I have really cool ideas of like shirts that I want to do and stuff. And a lot of them were hard to fit something or other tour in. So for example, there's a shirt I'm trying to design right now just for funsies, where it's like an old Wild West show ad from Buffalo Bill Wild Cody. So like, you know, when the Wild West kind of died, a lot of these old gunslingers would like take a show on the road where they would like, you know, go shoot targets with their things, and they'd ride around on horses and like lasso things, and they would do this traveling show. And I found a really cool old poster of one of those traveling shows, so I wanted to like redo it for my channel. Let's see if I can do while it's doing this, I want to see if I can show you this window. Oh yeah, can you see it? Can you guys see it? Oh, wait, did it work? Yeah, can you guys see that? Hopefully. But see that shirt? It's like an old caricature shirt. Look, you can even get it in like kids premium. Or a toddler shirt or a baby bodysuit. But, you know, it's an old like the shirts I used to get growing up. Caricature. So I want to like do fun shirts like this. And be able to like fit the name on it better. Like it worked out for this shirt because, you know, it had the whole top part, but sometimes fitting the something or other tour on like a whole shirt was difficult. And this one's cool. It's got candlestick. It's got even got my like tattoos. Had the gold bottom grill when I used to have my bottom grill. Yes, that's right. I had a bottom grill. Says Vertlife. It's got like my signature on there. It's got candlestick. Like it came out super cool. So, you know, I want to do more fun stuff like that. Hopefully, eventually. Yeah, hit the like. Any top Halloween spots in the Bay Area? Well, I just did the video at Halloween, or Tricks and Treats at Great America. A lot of people seem to be upset about that because it used to be Halloween Haunt, and now it's more of a family-friendly thing. So, I guess people are upset. I still think it's super fun. It's obviously not like the Halloween Horror Nights at Universal or anything like that, but it's still fun. Like, still a good time. Great snacks, great drinks. I think it's worth going. And there's that, I think Del Oso Farm is like a cool pumpkin patch, and they got a bunch of stuff set up. I haven't really been able to do anything this month besides the Great America thing. I work way too much. I work a lot, and I haven't been able to. But I want to do, has anyone gone to Fright Fest at Six Flags, Marine World? I don't know, Marine World Africa USA, that's what I know it as. It's Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, is that the name now? Still use it for dental care, but other than that, it's pretty empty. I think it's haunted. That's the Highland Hotel. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, Halloween Haunt. You know, they just say it was too much. It's too much like violence, too many teenagers getting in fights, ruining it for everybody, stuff like that. But it'd be cool if they bring it back. But either way, I'll try to do maybe I'll try to do Fright Fest at some point. I want to do. It's so hard for me to do the holiday stuff because, like I've told you guys, like, you know, it takes me so long to edit videos, so it's really hard. Like, especially the Halloween ones are really hard because I only have a month. I have a month to like have the time off, find somewhere to go, film it, edit it, put it out in time. So it's not always easy to do that. But you know, Christmas I have a little more time. I know we did the Fantasy of Lights a few years ago, and the boy himself, Jet, really loves that episode. We had a lot of fun, the little drive-through lights thing. What's up, Miggy? Yeah, you got to get me in there. Get me in there. I don't think they allow filming, though. That's the problem. I would love to. I mean, I would love to do the history of Winchester Mystery House more than anything, but yeah, that'd be cool. If you guys have any like other holiday stuff I can film, please leave a comment on the channel, or you know, at Variety Show with 2 V's, at Variety Show on Instagram. DM me, give me ideas. I would love to do some more holiday stuff if I can get it out in time. Love your editing though, brother. I film and edit myself, and I picked up a few ideas from you. That's awesome, man. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. I know it's always funny, like when I see like the clone stuff I do. I always do the clones, and I'll see like other channels do it. I've seen it. And I'm not saying they took it from me. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying like, but I'll see someone have the same idea or whatever, and it's always fun to think like, I don't know, the way I think about it. I'm just wondering, do they think about it the same, or like, you know, one of the only YouTubers I really watch consistently is Justin Scarred. He does a lot of like Disney stuff. He does a lot of things that overlap with what I do. He did one at a Wild West place I've wanted to go forever, and he dueled himself in the video, and I was like, man, I dueled myself in San Francisco. You know, which I love that video. If you guys haven't watched it, I urge you to go watch. The video is called California and Slavery, the last duel in San Francisco. It's one of my favorite videos I've done, and it was a lot of fun. I did a lot of clone gags. Christmas Oakland Zoo lights. Good idea. Real good idea. That would be cool. I would always like to do like the trains. You know, they'll have like the trains with the lights on them. I never do them though. Maybe I'll look into that. I would like to do a series of videos on Niles. If you guys haven't heard of Niles, it's awesome. But yeah, I got some fun stuff coming up. I don't want to give it all away, but I got a bunch of history stuff, some Texas stuff, abandoned sports stuff, some other abandoned stuff, some Cold War history, an awesome museum in Houston. I did a new intro video that's going to be like our new channel trailer. I did some Gold Rush stuff, some Gold Country stuff, a ghost town in the extended Bay Area that's no longer there. It's kind of missing, but there's some hints about it, and it's got a crazy story. Yeah, I got some cool stuff coming up. I'm excited. I did a Buc-ee's episode too. I don't know if I've mentioned that. I went to a Buc-ee's in Texas finally. A fabulous 40s neighborhood in Sacramento does an awesome neighborhood Christmas light thing. Ronald Reagan had a house there. Probably other history too. Oh, that's awesome. I don't know about that. Should go to Murphy's, California, not far from Sacramento. I think Murphy's is on my list. I'm pretty sure. I will double check though. Yeah. You know, I got one more 49ers thing to do. Oh, 49ers ticket giveaway will be probably right after Halloween, by the way. I'm going to give away the tickets to the Buccaneers game. So check out, make sure you're following our Instagram, because most of the contest stuff is going to go through Instagram. But I'll give away 2 tickets to 49ers Buccaneers. Niles Christmas Train, I think. Oakland has a Christmas train up in Temescal Park. I don't know that park. Yeah, the Niles Christmas Train looks awesome. I've never done it, so that might be something I can look into. In the fabulous 40s neighborhood. I'm going to check that out. I really like Sacramento. It's really weird, like around the Capitol at night. But other than that, Sacramento's awesome, man. Like we did the Dorothea Puente Murder House episode. I did another one that hasn't come out yet. That'll come out soon, hopefully. And of course, the Arco Arena stuff was great. Golden One Center was awesome. All the Kings fans were super cool. They were mean to me after that online, after the Warriors and Kings, once they got pulled into that series. But at the game, the Kings fans were very nice. Hopefully I can do more stuff up there. And I should probably do a Sharks game. I'm just bummed because they're, 0-5? Like, terrible this year, but whatever. I guess that gives me more time to, like, enjoy the arena. But yeah, hopefully some more football stuff, but I've done so much sports stuff lately. Like I mentioned earlier, for some reason my 49er videos get less and less views every video. Every video, less and less views. Some of them do well on TikTok though, which is funny. A 10-block area of older $1 million homes, super nice area. The Christmas light displays are legendary. Alright, Alameda has this one street off High Street where they do a Halloween and Christmas light display. I've never seen that either. I want to do some Alameda stuff for sure. All the old the old military stuff there, the old runway, the Hornet is out there. Yeah, and I filmed some stuff at the at Fleet Week a couple weeks ago. It wasn't like a full episode, so I'll probably put it on our members only stuff, some of the clips of like the Blue Angels. I was in the city on a rooftop watching the Blue Angels, which was cool. It's depressing being a Sharks fan. Yeah, luckily I'm not super into hockey, but I've been watching PK's Places. It's like Peyton's Places, but with PK Subban. And he goes through a lot of the hockey history, and it's really made me appreciate hockey lately, and it makes me want to dive back in. Because it's been, there's been a few times in my life where I got into hockey, but it's been like back and forth. Thompson Street? Is Thompson Street the one in Alameda? That'd be cool, man. I gotta look into that. Do a holiday episode. All right, guys and gals. It's been an hour and a half, I think, of me yammering away. Any last questions or anything? And I'll jump off. I'm gonna try to make this a weekly thing. I'll try to do some giveaways. Maybe, what would be cool to give away? Like my cousin has a 3D printer, Steven, who you've seen, the pick van. He's like in the Locke videos, that guy. Like he did this 3D printed Disneyland sign. It's not painted yet, but it'd be cool to like just give away random cool knickknacks on here just for fun. And then, some of the bigger ones like the 49er tickets will be on Instagram and stuff. But I hope you guys, enjoy enough of me yammering away, telling stories. I have kind of a list of things we can talk about. I don't want to do it all in one live stream. I spread it out. A lot of crazy stories of filming stuff and, police and security, stuff like that, or just interesting things. Spike Lee kicking me off his movie set. That was in one of my episodes. Just random stuff. I could go back to the archives and talk about some funny stories. And we could talk, sports, but I don't want it to just be about sports, of course. But, it's variety of things. Vertlife variety show. You fix 3D printers for a living? That's pretty cool. I want to get my own, So, I'll show you. This is actually pretty cool. So, I use two different microphones. When I'm filming, typically. And it's always annoying to have to switch them back and forth. So this is my little Rode that I haven't had these long, but this is what I use for like the tailgate trivia and stuff like that. Also, what do you guys think? Should I do more trivia? At Niner games, I could do some Warriors games trivia. I'm so excited for the Warriors season too. But yeah, so I use this, right? And this just connects wirelessly to another receiver that looks kind of like this. Not a receiver. A mic that looks like this that I can like clip on or I can hold. And that's the one you'll see me hold in the episodes. So I have this. And then I also have this, big mic. So what Steve did for me, which I'm super thankful, is he 3D printed this extra clip so that I can put both mics on at the same time. Right? Can you see it? So I can put both mics on at the same time. I just have to swap the cord, and I can go back and forth, which is awesome. And then he made one with 3, so I can put a light on it. So if we're doing anything in the dark, I can have a light mounted here too. So big thanks to Steve for that. This has been a game changer right here. And these mics are kind of easier to take into games, I've found out, because people don't know what they are. But when the crowd gets super loud, they do not handle it well. They just it's just all noise. But yeah, thank you, Steve, for that. It's been awesome. Game changer. I think he should sell stuff like that. Oh, speaking of selling stuff, if the 49ers tournament, you should make another video. Yeah, I'm definitely considering that. And like I said, I'm going to do something crazy with my hair if the Niners make it that far. Arco Arena video is epic. Was waiting for you to get kicked. Yeah, there's a crazy story behind the Arco Arena episode that I'll tell one of these days. Love the trivia vids. All right, I'll try to do more. If 49 make one, so you're doing a video on the streets of SF talking to fans would be sick, capturing the celebration. Oh, 100%. Like, 100%, I'm at the parade doing a video. 100%. So in my lifetime, I've only missed one parade, and that was the last Warriors parade a year and a half ago or whenever that was. And that's only because I got COVID really bad. I got COVID really bad like 2 days before. And the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure I got COVID from the NBA Finals. So if you guys remember, I did an NBA Finals episode. I'm pretty sure I got COVID that day because I have some family members with issues and stuff. So I was super safe through the pandemic. Like I was masked up. Like I didn't play around because I did not want to hurt any of my family members. And I mean, I didn't want COVID either, obviously. But the one time I was like, man, it's the NBA Finals. I'm not going to, I'm just going to let loose. I'm not going to bring a mask. I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm just going to, and just immediately, boom. The next day, my throat was hurting a little. Not the next day, 2 days later. Maybe 3 days later. I don't remember. A few days later, though, I just felt a little tickle in my throat. That's weird. And then, man, it was a rough little go for a couple days, but, but yeah, so if the 49ers win it all, I'm for sure going to be at the parade filming. No question. And do more Giants games. I mean, yeah, I need to. I mean, it's too late this year, but I got some Giants history stuff I'd like to touch on. And I have an upcoming video that is partially Giants history related as well that I'm working on right now. I've been editing crazy because I have to go through. I mean, I'm going through the archives, guys. I'm going through the archives. It's going to be a very special episode for me, so I'm taking my time with it, and I'm really trying to make it special for the 49ers and Giants fans. But what I was going to say is he should sell these like clips that he made, but also we started a print shop. I don't know if it's live yet, but I will post on Instagram. We started a print shop on Etsy, and we'll sell prints because me and my cousin especially get really cool pictures of some of these places we film. I mean, when me and him filmed Bodie a few years ago, he got some awesome pictures. Like some really great Bodie pictures. I got some, what are some of the other cool ones? Some cool drone shots of stadiums and arenas and stuff. I'll sell prints of those because some of them really came out nice. So yeah, we're gonna have a print shop. So if you ever want to decorate your walls with some very as one of a kind, you can only get it from us. It's not gonna be mainstream stuff. It's gonna be stuff that me and my cousin actually took. Pictures we actually were there when we were filming, and we got these shots. So something a little more unique, because I know if you try to get prints, a lot of times it's the same stuff, which is annoying. But we'll have some awesome prints, so should be cool. What's up, Jamie? You're checking in a little late. I was about to sign off. I talked a lot though. I think my throat's sore from all the yammering and ranting and raving I've done tonight. But yeah, the print shop will be up soon. Awesome pictures, some really cool stuff. I promise you they're quality pictures, no nonsense pictures, not cell phone shots, they're really high quality, cool stuff, especially the drone shots. I like some of the drone prints. That's it. Giveaways soon at Variety Show with 2 V's on Instagram. I'll give away 49ers and Buccaneers game, 2 tickets to that game. We'll do the giveaway like probably right after Halloween. And then new Locke episode, part 3 of the Locke series, the grand finale, Ghost Stories and Urban Legends, will come out Tuesday, and just in time for Halloween. So we'll get a little spooky with that. And then our first international episode should be shortly after that. And we're just going to keep going from there. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for talking to me, so I'm not just talking to myself. And, like I've said before, if you ever see me at any games or anything, don't hesitate to say what's up, man. It means so much to me. I love meeting people who watch the show and appreciate the show, because then I know I'm not doing it for no reason. Oh man, I'm always late for everything. Me too, man. I was late for the live stream too, because I was trying to set up my camera and stuff. I need to rework my setup. I kind of like the little checklist though. It kept me on track. We talked about the knickknacks, like my stadium stuff, and we'll talk about more. I have so many cool collectibles that I really would like to show off, like show and tell. So maybe I'll make that like a segment of each live stream. But I'll try to do a live stream every Sunday, depending, you know. Peace, bro. I need those ticks, man. You probably have a good chance. You've been pretty fortunate with these giveaways. But yeah, maybe next week I'll try to think of something I can give away on the live stream as well. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. This was fun. I'll see you next. I'll see you next Sunday, I guess. You know, go Niners. Big game tomorrow. Oh shoot! I just realized I have purple hair, and we're playing the Vikings. I gotta hide my hair. Dang it! I did not think about that. Anyway, my hair, special hair coming in soon if the Niners, you know, go deep in the playoffs. That's about it. See you guys. Something or other tour, variety, Vertlife, you know. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Go Niners.